The hard and painful things you experience when you let go of a narcissist. Welcome back to the Narcissist Exposed channel. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you will always be happy forever. Let's start the discussion. If you've been resisting the reality of your narcissistic relationship and or trying to move on without success, this episode is for you. Here are the top 5 obstacles you'll face in your life after ending things with a narcissist and some suggestions for overcoming them. If you're intrigued and want to know more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Before we get started, I just wanted to ask a brief question. Which aspect of reality do you have the hardest time accepting? Which one do you most want to believe but can't? Share your own experiences as a survivor to help others feel less isolated. First place. It was all an act if it was a narcissistic relationship. What the heck happened anyway? You gave more than just your heart to the relationship. You really made an outstanding effort. You gave a great deal up. But you still decided to make up with the narcissist. Narcissist is wholly defective. You have faith in the couple because you anticipate good things for them. You have confidence in them. The answer is yes. You undoubtedly recognize this person as the one for whom I have been waiting. You look to this person as though they were the Messiah. But what truly transpired? You were deceived, traumatized, abandoned, demoralized, and made a fool of because others took advantage of your kindness, empathy, and compassion. And as a result, you suffered a moral wound and harm to your soul. If I concede now that it was all an intricate deception, I'll have to confess that everything I did for them and all they experienced with me was real, including the good memories. Accepting this means admitting that the person who was so appealing, so kind, so present, so tuned, so terrific at the outset of the relationship is no longer and was never alive. By accepting the possibility that everything was an elaborate lie, you are effectively accepting that the person, the monster, you saw later in the relationship is who they truly were all along. The freeze response that results from taking in too much information at once prevents any kind of logical cognition from occurring. It's like witnessing a murder. Your mind simply can't take in the horror before it. Do you still question if it's all in your head? Is anybody trying to pull a fast one on us? Is this just a movie set, or are there more exciting things in the works? You must not accept the possibility of such brutality or such a lengthy delay. This is also true if the narcissist gaslighted you, assaulted you, traumatized you, or otherwise treated you horribly. The startling revelation of reality rendered you helpless. You simply cannot fathom the possibility that somebody is this malicious. Second, you've been emotionally duped by all the good fortune you've recently had. You're having trouble reconciling the narcissist's false claims of joy with your own memories of the relationship. Why? For the reason that there is also an emotional friction. When the narcissist was pleasant to you, you felt good about yourself for the same reason they made you feel horrible. It creates a rift in your mind and splits your memories, making it impossible to distinguish between reality and fabrication. It's a significant step forward to know that the things you recall as good in the relationship were actually lies designed to keep you there. This is tantamount to suicide. Though having anything to hold on to is preferable to nothing, if you come to terms with the fact that it was also a lie, you may find it difficult to let go of the dream of someday reflecting on your life with fond memories and the knowledge that you were right. It's the same as admitting that darkness and gloom have always pervaded the world. Acknowledging that the good times were an illusion in the middle requires acknowledging that you trusted the wrong person and were taken advantage of. Justifications for the emotional toll of accepting that the good times were really a mirage. Third, they set you up for a dream only to deliver horror. At the beginning of the relationship, they promise you the world, as do all narcissists. The future they portray for you is a mirage, yet the false optimism they give you is so enticing that you can't help but follow them. This is all a big fraud. That's why it pays off in the end to have trust. It's fantastic to ponder and fantasize about. That's what makes it so difficult to ask the sorts of pertinent inquiries that would allow you to sort fact from fiction. By convincingly portraying the future you desire, they induce in you a trance-like state from which you cannot recover. Everything they told you about the future you may have with them, turned out to be lies and nonsense. It was complete rubbish. It was. It's all a baiting exercise. They used to put food on your hooks in the hopes that you'd take the bait and feed their appetites. They asked for your undivided attention, financial backing, and sexual favors, but you never gave it to them. Instead, they delivered a nightmare. They made it so that you had to struggle through life every day in a world they thought up as horrible as possible. Narcissist rule number 4: you'll never get any alone time with them. If someone is going to betray you and leave you in the middle of nowhere broken and alone, they should at least give you a way out of the mess they've made of your life. What exactly does a narcissist do anyway? They basically abandon you to the elements. They could care less if you live or die. If they don't get what they want from you, they leave and don't come back. You could be confused as to why they wouldn't try to hoover you if they didn't think they could. This raises the question of whether or not he is a narcissist. Is she really that terrible? Holy cow. What possessed her to behave that way? Why didn't she just do this and that? Can you tell me if she's happy there? Did he feel comfortable around this new person? In addition, etc., that's the mental hamster wheel you keep spinning, and you can't seem to let go of the notion that this person didn't feel obligated to give you an explanation that would let you move on. Neither you nor the connection was important enough for them to hand over the final piece of the puzzle so he could finish the job. Instead, it's up to you to educate yourself on topics like narcissistic personality disorder and the people who exhibit its symptoms. You had to make peace with the idea that the world had a dark side and accept the fact that dreadful things had happened to me. Still, here I am. You must come to terms with the fact that they cannot and will not bring closure and find it elsewhere. The secret to independence is realizing that you must wait for your own experiences to bring you closure. If you really take the time to look at your emotions, you'll find everything you need to understand them and let go. In 5th place, this is the last one. The narcissists used their power over you to keep you around so they could steal supplies. Accepting and believing this is incredibly painful because it implies accepting that you have no self-worth, no esteem, and no confidence because you were treated as an object and used and discarded. Like an old piece of furniture that was used until it became obsolete, it realizes that you were tricked. In light of this new information, it's important to remember that although you may feel guilty about having become accustomed to and fooled by this individual, you are in no way responsible for this. Not at all. Doing it to yourself or realizing that it was your fault. They used every dirty trick in the book to take advantage of you, including twisting the truth, using gaslighting, etc. You didn't let that happen. You realized it. You had no access to the relevant government body to judge whether or not the proposal was being approved. You were in a constant state of either fighting, fleeing, or freezing, and that's how you made it thus far. You were unable to use your rational mind. That's why they persisted in subjecting you to torture. Why? Because they freeze your brain and spinal cord. They knocked you for a loop, and you just kept on living. Therefore, realizing that someone views you as an object is incredibly challenging because of the immense guilt it evokes. You question your own integrity and wonder how it is that you could have allowed such a thing to occur. When did I become so naive? I don't know why I let this happen to me. Where did I go wrong? But you're the one who's expressing it all. You are able to pose these inquiries now since you have direct contact with the agency in question. Now that you have stopped taking the poison, you may be able to ask these questions with more objectivity. You did not think to ask those things. You lacked the autonomy to even consider such concerns. Self-compassion, acceptance, and understanding that it was much more complicated than it appears today are the keys to recovery. You should know that you were taken advantage of, but that your good nature led you to help anyhow. You carried out the action which, in your mind, was the right one. You did what came naturally to you, setting you apart from whatever it was you were with. The first step toward true freedom is coming to terms with reality after breaking up with the narcissist. I think I've spoken everything I wanted to say in this video. At the next one, I hope to see you there. Until then, let's focus on our own recovery.